Hi traders, in this video I am going to talk about market crashes, and I would say let's just start. If you are living on this planet called Earth, you may know that crashes, crisis situations, earthquakes, wars, tsunamis happen, and even bigger events that can change the world and that can definitely change the course of the markets, that are very heavily affecting the markets. And in today's video I am going to tell you the top tips about how to trade with trading robots, with EAs, in a crash situation, because in my opinion we are heading to a major crash in the markets, in the world economy, and you have to prepare for that because you don't want to lose all your assets or your savings in a situation. Let's start. The first tip is the following: you should always monitor your EAs, your trading robots, your C algos. And what I mean by this is that you should always analyze the data that is provided by the live trading with your EA from time to time, and you should create a journal for this where you compare different periods, different months, different years, different quarters. And it is very important because if you don't monitor your EA's performances, if they are similar what you have seen or different, then you can't make changes and you can't tweak them to the new market changes. And in a situation where a crash is approaching the markets, or where very unusual events happen every year, like these couple of years behind us and ahead of us, you should be very flexible with your EA, and not overly flexible, because that is one of the number one key factors why traders are losing with robotic trading, but flexible to change your trading algorithm and adopt them to the new markets, to market changes. And what I mean by overly flexible is that if you just see two trades that are bad and you change the whole strategy, that is not how data analysis and science is working. You should analyze your EA and be flexible on certain periods, like for example run it for half year, analyze the situation, tweak it a little bit, then another half year. So not like two trades and then you change the whole EA. I hope it is useful, this little information for you. The number 2 tip is backtest, forward test and backtest, and optimize and out of sample testing and all these things. You should do all these things all day, every day, if trading is a significant source of income for you, or if you have savings in your trading account with an EA. Because, and I know this because I am testing my EAs every week and creating the possible updates for them, the potential solutions for issues, for the new markets, additional features, and new set files. And it is very important. If you don't do this, you are not going to be up to date with the markets, and then your EA is going to lose money after a few months, and not just a few percent, but basically all your account. And one other tip for this topic is that you should backtest your EA on longer periods and on crisis situations as well, not just on the good situations. And I heard from a few traders that sellers tell you that you should only test the EA in a certain period because before that there was a crisis. And I'm like, let's say that particular seller is not a god, because we are humans and he just may be a coder, and so he doesn't know if the markets are going to have another crisis situation or not. So if you sell your EA in for just the optimal environment, or you just create your strategy for the optimal environment, the perfect environment, you are going to lose money, because you should create your EA and test it for crisis situations and bad situations, and also the good optimal situations. And your EA has to perform good or break even in all of those situations, but not in a very, very negative way. Because if your EA, even in backtest, behaves in a very negative way to a crisis situation, it is going to destroy your account when it comes to real life trading. The third tip is risk management. I know I am talking about this for years now, but risk management is just so important. And a little bit of a pro tip: create a multi-layer risk management strategy, not just stop loss and take profit. If you have stop loss and take profit, that is not bad. It is good for a start, but based on my testings on very different market conditions for the last 20 years, if you are using stop loss take profit like as one layer, then you are using dynamic exits as a second layer, and you are using a overall feature, max drawdown feature in your EA that is closing all your trades at a certain drawdown that you set. It is a third layer, and with this 3-layer risk management strategy, you can start with a pretty good chance. If you are interested, I can make a video about my 5-layer risk management strategy. Just let me know. The fourth tip is, if you want to navigate through a crash situation with your EA, always stay up to date with interest rates, news events. And I'm not saying you should avoid news events with your EA, because now I am not talking about the macroeconomic news events in the news calendar. I'm talking about the big news events from the world that are happening, that have like world-changing effect, from political leaders to like institution leaders, world institution leaders, and groups that has effects that can change the world. And of course, you should always read the news from astrophysics and the space, because if an asteroid hits the Earth, there is nothing to do, nowhere to hide, so you don't have to even care about these things. You should just basically listen to the news. I hope this video was useful for you and you could gather a little bit of insight on how to navigate in a crash situation with your EA. If you are interested in more of these videos, let me know in the comments. Like this video and subscribe, because that's what you have to do on YouTube. Ciao.